Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Rokita. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I made almost $4,000 from my art in the past 3 weeks. But first, before I go on with this video, I want to address the elephant in the room, why I sound like a frog. So almost 2 weeks ago, I was prepping for heading to Connecticut with my daughter and my fiance, and my sister got married last weekend. So we were going up there for that. We went up early so we could have some vacation days, which was really, really nice. But a couple days before the trip, I came down with a fever, and I had like fever on and off for like 2 days. And that sucked because I was trying to get ready for the trip and also work on some art, and like it was a lot, you guys. So that happened, and then right after the fever broke, like fever left, and I was like, I feel mostly fine, just weak, physically weak. I lost my voice completely, and then I ended up getting a lung infection. So my voice is still recovering. I could not speak for the past like week and a half, pretty much. And today my voice sounds a lot better, but it's still not there, quite there. So I had to kind of put off doing these videos for a little bit because I literally couldn't talk, you guys, without coughing, which I'm still struggling a little bit today, but hopefully I can make it through this video. Okay, so the way I like to do these videos is talk about like how much I made, but how much actually hit my bank account, not sales that I made where money is still like, I'm still waiting for it to come in. I did make a sale last week, and the money is not going to be hitting my account until Friday. So I'm not counting that. I'm just counting money that actually was deposited into my bank account. Okay. And I'm going to break it down into like what I made from my website versus what I made on private sales and anything else that's like random, which this week we actually do have something random, which is cool. So the first is Shopify. Okay, so this is where I have my website. I love Shopify. I love the shipping deals I'm able to get through them. It's really easy to manage my website. I used to use WordPress and it sucked. So I love Shopify. It's so much better also than like Etsy, just because I'm able to control everything on there, and I don't have to worry about all of their regulations and fees and all that stuff. I can just kind of do whatever I want on there, which is awesome. Okay, so all of the deposits that came from Shopify, I'm going to break this down. So the first one was $160.87, and this was for a small original painting. The next deposit was $71.89, and this was for two mini original paintings that someone purchased. And those I know came from someone on, actually, I think all of these came from people on Threads or Instagram, okay? And these two mini paintings, they had been on my website for a while, maybe two months. And someone finally purchased them. My mini paintings, which I kind of use as like studies, they're cool in their own right, and I love the way that people frame them, and it is really cool to have mini art on your wall in general. And so yeah, I sell those for $35. So they're pretty quick and easy to make. Not all of them. Some of them do take a long time, especially if I incorporate thread. Gold leaf obviously takes a while, especially when I'm working really small. Okay, so that's what that was from. And then the next one was $198.17. And this was from my first ever LinkedIn sale. I have a LinkedIn account, and I've been trying to use it to to connect with art collectors, but also art dealers and gallery owners and just people in the art world, writers, people who can hopefully help me get my art out there a little bit more. So I've been trying to connect with more of those people on LinkedIn, local business owners, those types of people. And some of the folks who are in my target audience are definitely people who are a little bit nerdier. They're really interested in nature and science. And yeah, so I just started reaching out. I think there was like a couple days where I was only reaching out to like biologists and ecologists and people who are kind of like in science fields. And if they actually did connect with me, I'd send them like a message saying like, hey, like, it's great to connect. Like, here's a little bit more about me and my art. I'm just trying to introduce as many people to my art as possible. And yeah, this one guy, an ecologist who lives in Australia, we had a really nice conversation after I sent a message, and he ended up going straight to my website and buying an embellished art print for over $200, which was amazing. So the thing with this one that was interesting, well, it's kind of annoying, but I ordered the print, and my printing partner, which is Finer Works, I absolutely love them. I've been using them for like 10 years. I had the print shipped to me, and it got to me, and it was clear that someone had like stepped on it or dropped a really big package on top of it or something. It was, or something worse, I don't know. It was like ripped open and like completely destroyed. It was awful. So I took pictures of it. I sent it to Finer Works, and they immediately shipped me a new one for free, which was amazing, because even to get that printed like and shipped to me was like $50. So I'm like, I don't have to pay for that again. And their customer service is amazing. So that was good. I was gonna have to wait an extra week to send this print, but you know what? It's better than just like getting a refund. Like, just like, let me try. And it worked out. So that was that. And then the next deposit was $441.86. And this was for two original paintings that were purchased from my website. And I think a smaller art print too, and possibly like a bag or something like that. I think someone came in and bought like a few different things. And the reason these sales were made was because I was kind of drumming up some excitement around releasing a very small collection of paintings for a new collection called A Democracy of Light, which has to do with lichen and its relationship to the sun, and democracy is like this concept for just like mutual resource sharing. And these paintings are really beautiful. They use like the sun, and they're just very like summery and pretty. Like, they have depth in terms of like the meaning, but like they look so pretty. My cat has decided to go do other things. Okay, so that was that. And then so, and one of the paintings that I sold was my first ever. It was like 7, I think, by 14. So it was like a long painting and skinny, and it just looked so cool. Okay, so then the next one was $1,164.90. And so this was from the same gentleman that bought my big blue painting last month. And he got in touch with me, and he was just like, hey, like, I'd like to fill this other space on the other side of my living room, so that there would be a painting on one side of his fireplace and then one on the other of the same size. And he was kind of like torn as to like what color he wanted. The one was blue. He didn't have like a ton of color in the room other than a chair that was blue and white, and there was a little bit of green in there. And so I had made another painting. It's so beautiful, you guys. I called it Lapis Lagoon, and it has like blues and greens, and it just looks very beachy, and like, oh my gosh, it's so relaxing to look at this painting. I'm obsessed with it personally. Like, I hope no one buys it, because I mean, I really do hope someone buys it, but I hope I get to spend a little bit more time with it because it's just so beautiful. And so I had sent him a picture of that one. And he was like, well, I don't really want like blue again. Maybe another color like red or green or something like that. And you guys, I had this green painting that was the same size. It was in the same exact type of frame as the one he had already. I had it sitting in my basement, and I had taken it off my website like a couple months ago because I just like didn't like the way it looked. Like, as an artist, do you ever have those pieces where you make it and you're like, you sit with it for a while? Like, this one I sat with for like 3 years, and I was like, I don't really like this painting. Like, it's bothering me for some reason. And so I told him that. I was like, hey, like, this one is actually not on my website, but here's a picture of it. And I took a picture of it. I showed it to him like on my wall. And I do have a corner in my living room that I can use for art staging, which is really, really helpful. So if you are an artist who needs to be able to take better photos of your art, I would highly recommend having a space in your home where you can just stage your art. It's really helpful. So I can just like put anything on that hook and take photos, and it's great. And he saw the pictures and he was like, I want that painting. So he bought it like 5 minutes later and I shipped it the next day, and it was great. And so, yeah, overall, Shopify from my website, I made in the past 3 weeks $2,037.69, which is pretty good. Okay, so next is my private sales. And this is usually on Venmo or Zelle. Just like someone hands me money or sends me money separate from Shopify. And the first one was for a painting that I had done. Well, I had started it a few months ago on a live video. And it was like on this big piece of handmade Japanese watercolor paper. And I was very excited about it. And I was like, someone had sent me like a magazine. It was like a science magazine that someone had sent me. And there was one page that talked about like these brain scans that they had done. And yeah, the photos of these brain scans were gorgeous. They were like rainbow, like just the neurons like firing. It was so beautiful. And so like when I saw it, I was like, well, does the brain really have anything to do with symbiosis? Because that's what I'm focusing on this year in my art, in terms of theme. And I might actually just continue that because it's so good. And there's so much like within that theme that I can focus on. And so I started the painting and I was using all these colors. It was like a rainbow. And then after the live was done, because I had to let it dry, I started to go in and like add some gold leaf. And you guys, this painting looked like trash. Like it looked awful. I was not okay with this painting. And so I put it in a pile, the bottom of this pile. I was like, I'm not looking at this thing. Like, I'm so embarrassed about like how bad it looks. And a couple of weeks ago, I was like, well, let me take it out and see, like, maybe I can fix it. So I started working on it again, and I was able to fix it, you guys. And it actually came out so good. Like, it looks amazing. And so I messaged one of the guys who was on the live, and I was like, hey, remember that painting I started like on that live video? And he was like, oh yeah, I was wondering what happened to that thing. And so I showed him pictures of it, and he wanted it. So he purchased that painting for $300. I gave him a really good deal on it because, yeah, it's just how it goes sometimes. And it was within his budget, right? So I was like, okay, I took an offer from him. And now the new pieces that I'm selling that are in the same size, they're going for a little over $500. They're a lot of work, you guys, a lot of work. So that's actually a pretty low price. And those prices will probably go up next year. But anyway, so he bought that painting and sent me the money over Venmo. And then the other one was for two small original paintings, and that was $225. So that was for another like private collector of mine who loves my work, and she's been amazing. So overall private sales, $525. Okay, so the last thing, which is the weird thing, is I actually booked another mural, you guys. Remember when I did the mural in the south side of Pittsburgh and I did the videos? And if you haven't seen those videos, I did like a whole full length, like here was my process and like, time lapses and all that stuff. So if you want to check that out, head to my channel. You can watch those videos after. But I just booked another mural in New York City, and this one's going to be in somebody's kitchen, kind of in like this liminal space between their living room and their kitchen. So very excited to work on this. And I charged $3,250 for this mural, and $250 of it was paid in the past couple weeks, and that was for getting started on the sketches. So I charged for the sketches, which was great. Sometimes those sketches can take me 4 to 5 hours, so I want to get paid for that work. And then she paid me 50% of the rest of it yesterday, which was awesome. So that was $13.75. About $500 of that went towards like travel expenses and also the supplies needed. So as soon as I got that money, I paid for my flights, and I also paid for the supplies, and I'm having them shipped to her house so that I don't have to like carry anything with me. I'll just have my little backpack. I'll get on my flight. I'll go over there. All the supplies will be there. I'll do my mural, and then I'll come home. So super excited about that. That's going to be at the very end, so like the last weekend of August. So super excited to do another mural. There's going to be another one happening in California, possibly the month after. So I'll let you guys know about that one too. Very excited about just being able to travel and like get my art into people's homes. Cool. So in total, what I made in the past 3 weeks from my art, $3,937.69. So very, very happy with how much I've made, especially this month. I'll know more about the full total by next week, but it will definitely be a little over 4,000. So not as high as last month or the month before, but those months I feel like were a little bit like, I don't know, there was a lot going on. So okay, thank you guys for listening and watching. Let me know if you have any questions. The last thing I would probably touch on is just like how much work it is to get all of these sales. Like all of the Shopify sales that I made, most of them were because I was posting constantly on Threads. I need to actually do like a count one day of like how much did I post in a day. Usually it's between like 15 to 30 times a day. And I do see that it helps to have like videos, even my turnaround videos, which I know some people hate those, but they make me money sometimes. So, I'm not going to stop doing them. And, if someone else hates them, they can just block me and move on. So I don't do a ton of them. I do them pretty sparingly, but those have been helpful, as well as process videos, because people really like those too. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.